Morning, Hayden.
Good morning.
Good
How's your week?
weekend?
Yeah, that's alright. How was yours?
Yeah, wet.
You busy, huh?
Yeah. Christmas decorations.
Oh yeah, all that good stuff. Hey Daniel. Alrighty, so we've seen gold just blow its top off and do full correction. Crazy, huh? What a start. Went to bed pretty early last night. Maddie was being difficult. She's been difficult since basically all day. Wouldn't sleep. So as soon as we got to we're just trying to like keep her quiet. Couldn't have a TV on or anything. So finally got to the bed at 10 o'clock. I was just exhausted from like trying to keep her quiet. So didn't see the market open. Just shot straight up. 73 pips. Sorry, yeah, 730 pips. Crazy. Alrighty, so anyway, hope people had a lot of fun with gold. It was coming. That was for sure. Pacific Life saying sell there. You can if you want, mate. Alrighty, so let's have a little peek what we're doing here. We're trading German 40, or I'm trading German 40. If anyone that's watching for the first time. Hey Brett, how are you? So I'm kind of thinking, after seeing such a huge rally towards last week, I was actually expecting the monthly candle to have pulled back just a little bit, and create a bit of a bottom wick, but we didn't get that. It absolutely just fired straight up. So what I'm actually thinking though, after we have like a big rally, okay, so as you can see, let's just move this. What am I missing? I don't see the other one. Hold a second. There we go. Ah, there we are. Hey, leader fan Don, Leon, MM. How are we all doing? All right, so what I'm actually thinking is like after we have this big rally, let me just get the pen going as well.
Who's that?
We've had this. Oh shoot, that's white background. There we go. So we're seeing like after we see like a big rally, like 1, 2, 3, 4, like 4 pump candles, we do fall into a little bit of lower volatility, and then we've had again towards the end of last week, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, just really power up. And we're approaching this all-time high. I've got no doubt that we're going to be breaking that all-time high. It's just a matter of time. But we had like a clean candle here, which is Friday basically just replicated. We had a little bit of a gap, which Thursday replicated. And then we had a big candle here that Wednesday replicated. So I wouldn't be surprised if like we kind of get stuck in this area as well. We did have the Asian highs already been swept and have a little reaction. I would quite like to see a little buy to sell and then sort of just stay consolidated, like just drift amongst these, like this green box and this green box. This here is like, I'll show you this when we go to the lower time frames, but I'm expecting this to be a bit of a liquidity pool. I'd really like to see it swept into it just a little bit more to grab that liquidity, maybe bounce off that monthly level and then fall down a little bit. So I'm kind of looking for that. I think that we potentially can see that up move from here. We have swept just now, the Asian low as well, which is a good sign, always a good sign. Let me just show you the news. We don't really have much on the news today. So we've got, let's reset this, all fly. Yeah. Pretty light in the whole news docket. We do have some little things brewing though that happened yesterday. We do have a new virus potentially, or some illness in China that a few people have been getting sick from, and we had calls from some 5 Republican US senators saying to try to restrict travel to China. So that maybe that's kind of like creeping in the background. COVID isn't such a distant memory just yet. And then we've also had there was there was a couple of little issues with some Iraq based fighters or some war stuff. So we did see the US have a little perform some operation. Where is it? Yeah, US military carries out strike against Iran backed drone staging site in Iraq. So they're definitely like this is that war news maybe coming back in a little bit. This is the US senators calling for the travel ban with China with this respiratory illness, and then you've got a big bank warning on headwinds for stocks. So what's happening is they're revising Q4 and next year's earnings for some stocks. So maybe we'll have a bit more of an impact on like the US indices, like the NAS and your S&P, particularly S&P 500. So maybe this is starting to creep in there as well. That just curbs this rally just a little bit. So I'm expecting it to be a bit of a slower day. But you know, the bull's very much in charge. But it makes sense after you miss this massive move and there's the FOMO taking place, it's usually better to wait for a pullback. The move's already happened, right? So that's what I'm kind of thinking. I'm cautious for these longs. I'd prefer to take some sells. I'd prefer to see sells sweep up into this area and then find that reaction. However, if you've taken already a sweep from the Asian high, then I think that was a good move. Now we're sweeping this Asian low. We're going to have the London high in this area, and we're going to have the New York 50% somewhere in this area as well. So I wouldn't mind seeing a retracement. I'd just like to see price push up, and then I can take those sells down. But definitely this open candle, the first like 10 minutes of the Frankfurt Open, if I go to the 5-minute candle, you can see that as soon as we opened, this was the candle just before and then the candle above. You see the time here, 6:55 UK time, and then Frankfurt opens at 7 UK time. So we've seen this 10-minute, some volatility creep in. Wick down, swept under the majority of the Asian low. Wick down to that. Was able to buy into that, and then price started pushing down. Hey Glenn, how are you, mate? Alrighty, so let's see what today has in store, but I'm leaning to sells because of this rally, and most of the time you see this happen. You can see the time that it started happening, like this big push at 3 p.m, and then it was just on Friday, it was just non-stop buying. Really, algo's just taking control. When I see that happen, most of the time, if it's a large move, a substantial move, and you've got this kind of price action, very often you see it just get completely swept and wiped out the next day. So we've got 15 minutes until the London Open, so that will be interesting. And yeah.
And why do you say that looks like algo trading, that particular climb?
That's algo trading, because it's just this really tight little control, just each candle just pushing up, making higher lows. When you see that, you can tell it's algo. Then what happens is you get a little bit of deeper pullback, usually closes near the top. But if you go back and look at the times that it's done that, when there's been a lot like this, it gets swept a lot.
Yep.
Again, these little tight, really tight channels.
And is that just because there's trendline liquidity there and that's just why it's swept, or is there something about the fact that there's humans taking over after algos?
It would just be like the stimulus that caused those buys was near the start, and then it was like very low volume. So then algos are just constantly having little pullbacks, buying the highs, having a little pullback, buying the highs. So normally the catalyst that started that move was, say, somewhere around here, and then once it broke above after that initial impulse, it was just never letting sellers off the hook. Eventually it's going to get to a stage where profit's taken. It's going to be at a time point, like usually end of the day, next day, and then it will have created trendline liquidity, but it's not nothing. That's not the main point.
Yep, gotcha. Yep.
Yeah. the fact is like, it's just when you see this, you notice that there will be usually a full correction to the starting point again.
Yeah, I guess that's the whole point, isn't it? It's pushing price up to a certain point where they can take profits and liquidity returns and it drops.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's usually a sign that there's volume there, but it's not really like it's usually after hours, or it's during a time where there's typically low volume. Like this is normal kind of trading.
Yep.
Like this looks like normal price action, but when it's like that really tight channel, often it's nice if you can catch it and you're aware of it early, because you can really trade it as well, knowing that you're just with the same size as the algos. But it's like I'll usually see it once every couple of weeks, and lately, just when like after the market, we've been seeing it quite often, quite regularly. So,
yep.
But yeah, like it used to be something that I'd notice on, like, say, a Friday after London stock market is closed, and the period between like 5 o'clock, or between 4 and 5 UK time to about like 8 UK time, 3 hours when it's fairly quiet, but price is still moving quite dramatically. It's just sort of surging in this really, really tight channel. And there'll typically be a Friday move. Monday will come along and it'll sweep that whole area.
Yep, thanks.
Alrighty. So I wouldn't mind seeing price come down to this area for like maybe the weekly low. Make its way down to here. I quite like it for looking at the weekly chart. It's inside of this candle. My zone, can't see the zones on the weekly time frame. Maybe the daily, you can see it. Yeah, the daily, you can see it. All right. So this top green box, this is structure on my lower time frame. So the way I see this one, if I go to the 4 hour time frame, go over here to August, this where price accumulated near this high, this all-time high, price accumulated. Initially I just drew the box on the bodies of the candle. That's what I normally do, and then I'll investigate these wicks a little bit more. So drew on the 4 hours, encapsulated that whole area, went down to the 3 hours, and just went to like tidy it up a little bit. So I tidied it up on this one, and then I went down to the 2 hour chart, and you'll see like why I've actually drawn these boundaries here. It's particularly like around this area. So where am I? September? Come on. Okay. So you can see like I've taken the majority of the volume. So I've got a little wick rejection, I've got wicks here, I've got a little fake out underneath, I've got price push up, make a new high, come down, can't close above this level, wicked up there again, came down, wicked off of this area. So I'm treating this bit here as a little bit of a fake out. I'm treating these wicks as lower time frame fake outs, but I've got the bulk of the area right here. So I know that this is the bulk of the volume. If we can close above here, I think we can go up fairly comfortably to the top, barring any sort of traffic we get with the monthly close level and our Asian high, which is also your New York 50% from the end of that July month. No, yeah, July month. That's actually my mistake. Okay, and this is kind of where we're pushed up to. Now we've got clean candles all the way from here up, and this is the last area that price actually paused near the base of this London low before we're able to push down. So I've just marked up this little green area is more to do with, let me just replay it from here so we have to find it so far. If I go to like the 1 hour time frame, you can see what I've done. You've got the liquidity wick. This one here is a little bit higher than the previous one, and this one, so I can make that. There we go. So this is a liquidity wick. This is a liquidity wick. 2 liquidity wicks equals resistance. So this was my resistance, and now we broke above it. This is now the support. The support's already been tested once. So if we go to current price, you'll see that what happened on Friday, as we broke above this green zone, okay, as we broke above, go lower time frame, be a bit easier to notice. Price pulled back. Come on. Price pulled back. Pushed up again. Closed above the London high. Came back. Retested that area. Gathered liquidity. So this is definitely that resistance. It's already been tested once. I am cautious. But I'm hoping that this will be enough to give a bit of a bounce. Again. From this zone. Otherwise, in terms of liquidity, I think we've got definitely this area. If we do manage to push down in cleanly all the way down, then that would be just like, I don't really want that to happen, but if that does happen, I'll be 100%. I'll be looking for longs from here, or at least a bounce from New York low, London low with no bottom wick. This will represent a very, very good opportunity for at least a trade. Just wait for price to get down there and then look for a liquidity candle. That's pretty much it. So I'll set that alert there, and that'll just be something that I'll simply literally just wait until that happens. That will be a trade when that time happens that I know is very, very high probability. And this is not talking to my group. This is talking to people that are just watching for the first time. It doesn't mean I put a buy limit there, okay? It means I'm waiting for this area to get picked up, and I understand that there's liquidity and there's likely a reaction from here. But once price is pushing down into this area, what you want to wait for then is some sort of price action to look for longs, and that will be a candle that looks like a rejection wick, a liquidity candle. The 4 types of entries that if you want to watch previous streams, look for those kind of trades, then that will give you an idea, but I'm not going to explain it any further than that. But this area, keep your eyes on it. The other area is it's pretty much it, you know. It's pretty much it. It's kind of hard to actually, apart from the New York 50%, to go longs. If price is pushing down, it's kind of hard to actually identify liquidity or anywhere that price could potentially create a support from, given the way that it moved up. So I'll be leaning into these sells still and holding these sells. I haven't taken any sells yet today. The morning's been a bit busy. So am I selling to buy? I'm not sure yet. I prefer buy to sell, personally. I think after a big pump move like this, I think it makes sense to have a look. I'd rather wait for that correction to be buying again. Or let price really come down and then show me it's that the retracement still done, because like it can look all fine. Hey Al, Marin, how are you, Dave? So I didn't say loaded before. Given how high we are in the move, if you look at the 4-hour chart, do we really want to start taking longs again? Like up here, look how much it's look how high this rally's been. Like trying to take buys up here again. I know the trend is strong, but I don't have to pick the bottom. I could even just wait for price to actually start creating a support wherever it's going to do, and then start like just take it once the bottom's in. But it makes sense for a pullback. So I'd rather be looking for a buy to sell and sell down. Or if I feel like there is gathering enough steam with the London open upon us, then I can maybe look to take a late entry. A late, knowing that I haven't really got the best entry here. Maybe I can jag like, I don't know, 20 pips and just be done for the day. Why would you be so confident in placing in the buy there? Saying here, Jacob, is that what you're asking? Jaco? Confident that if you get price action supporting rejection wicks under these areas, then I think you can get a buy. Because the way the market moves and waves, that you can get a buy without it ever changing the momentum. The way German 40 moves, you can easily get 30 pips, easily. The reason why I like underneath this area is because this is underneath, you've got multiple session lows. Multiple session lows. You've got a New York low, London low, Euro low. So whenever you see, even if you look at the way that price, when it breaks a session high, you get a bit of a pullback. You break a session high, you get a pullback. You break a session high, you eventually, whenever the reaction comes, you get a pullback. You break a session high, though this one didn't. Asian session didn't. But when you break highs, typically you get a pullback. You just need to see the price action with it. And this would be supporting the higher time frame trend, so you're more likely to get a reaction. London low, price push down, you get a pullback. Now these little pullbacks, I know it's counter trend, but these little pullbacks, you can at least get like, usually this is low volume in this period, you can see the range on top of the sessions. When you've got large momentum in the market, 20-30 pips you can get from underneath these areas. Alright, so London's opens upon us. Just a minute 40. M30 looks to be a clear close below the Asia session box. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Frankfurt Open's been bearish. So you'd expect more downside, eh? So I wonder if we can get... I'd like to see price... I'd like to see London, if we're going to keep on going down, I'd like to see this initial little... I'd like to see this continue like that. That'd be really nice. So I think I'll execute on that. If we're pricing wick up around 16,400, I would like to take that, but I'll also be happy to give it time, just sort of wait. I don't have to trade the very first minutes of the London Open. You can sort of see where London Open is going to go, and typically you can get like quite a few 30-minute candles in that direction. You can take like a scale and entry. So we've got a little bit of structure over here to the left. More structure down here. More structure down here. TradingView and my broker are very, very different. The way price is moving. I'm not sure actually.
I've just paused your thing, George.
It looks like TradingView's actually.
I just couldn't load Discord.
Looks like TradingView's behind my broker. Or the broker behind the TradingView. The prop account is about 10 seconds behind. Hey Tom, how are you? That's alright, mate. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. If it's that clear. If it's that clear. But often what happens is, even when I've noticed on the prop account, when it is lagging, it puts my entry where price really is. Many times I've actually closed the position or entered the position, and it's like nowhere near where I actually thought I was by looking at the chart. And then about 5 to 10 seconds later, it catches up and it goes right where it put the either put the entry or put the stop loss or put the take profit. Morning, Beata. See, my prop account's breaking the lows. It's breaking this low on the prop account. I don't know, Manny, because I'm trying to keep an eye on both. I'm trying to think, did this retest the low? Because it's clearly going up here, and the Blue Guardian's going down. Really bizarre. What about my personal? Personal's doing the same as TradingView, which makes sense because they're both Pepperstone, but the prop account's doing something different. That's so strange. Yeah, she is cute, Anna. Okay, now 8 cap's going up. Yeah, quite a bit. Seems to be quite a bit delayed. I think I'll just focus on TradingView chart because it's similar to my live account that I've got, and then the prop account I might just leave that for now. It's just whilst doing funny things. Alpha's the same as TradingView, Dan? Yeah, okay. Morning, Daniel. How are you? What I'd really like to see, London just retrace and correct this move, push up into this and take the liquidity above New York high. And the same reason I'd be looking for buys underneath there, I'll be looking for sells above there. So that's my main idea, is the buy to sell. Well, for the big boys, the buy to sell. Not sure how I'm going to be able to get into that buy while price is still pushing down. But ideally, we've got the New York high right here. We've got a liquidity candle here. And I really like to see it just tap into this green zone. Should give me a rejection candle. One that has a higher high than the previous candle, but closed below it, or below the high. Then I'll give that a shot to then ultimately see if we can get like a, maybe this could be the London high. And we can get like an 80 pip move to the downside. That would put it into this previous London high area. My chart looks different than yours, Maron. Is it the same data feed? I certainly am getting differences on the broker, on the prop account and this, which is very, very strange. Yeah, I think there's definitely some broker to broker differences today. Which kind of makes sense as well, given how high we are. Different liquidity providers will have slightly different pricing. Given we are at these extremes, there might be a little bit more variation. Asian, you say not Asian highs already taken. Oh, it took the New York high, did it? This is my 30. Yeah, we've never taken the New York high out yet. Yeah, Asian session definitely didn't take the high. Not on my charts anyway. Okay, so Blue Guardian, the 8 cap, we're breaking these lows now. We're definitely breaking these lows. So let's see who's actually in the head. Blue Guardian's down here. It's down here. It's breaking underneath this candle. Yeah, gosh, this is very bizarre. No, I didn't see a setup yet. I didn't see a setup. Very, very early into the session. I'm hoping the buys come in. I'm hoping the buys come in and we can sweep the New York high. That's what I'm looking for. And then I'll look for sells from there.
Do not take or sell at the Euro 50?
I was thinking about it around from these no wick candles, like the 400 mark around here. I was thinking if it could wick up quite quickly, and then show some rejections, then I would have done it. But it didn't move that quick with the London Open, and I prefer that to be a bit of a quick move. And because I do have structure here to the left, I feel that this is potentially rejecting this Euro low. So what I might do is if it can actually form a resistance here and then have like a bearish candle that breaks the low, maybe then it would be something to keep on going low. What I'm thinking actually, it probably lines up with your scale in indicator. Like if we can get a rejection from up here and then something closing lower, maybe then it would be a good shout to go down.
Oh, okay, yeah, fair enough. Definitely a slow start.
Yeah, and what's kind of weirding me out is the way that the difference between the prop account and TradingView is so very different. Like, look, see how we're making these highs? Oh no, it's alright. It sort of is rising back up now. Quite a number of 3-minute imbalance candles above. Yeah, exactly, over here. So I don't want to take an impulsive entry from here, but if we are able to create a resistance and then start breaking and breaking underneath these lower time frame, like the 3 minutes, then maybe the sells will come back in. Until then, just wait for this bullish momentum to go out. Hopefully this can rise and we can take a New York high, and then I can look for a rejection candle to come back down. That's what I'm waiting for. Let's go to all chart view. I'll just be patient on this one. Get us paid. Alright, looks like the prop account's in sync again. So I don't know who was behind, if it was TradingView or it was a prop account. I dare say it was a prop account, it was just a little bit behind. You know, that's my plan I'm looking for. Hey Joey, how are you, mate? Looks like we're all good for tomorrow's session, huh? Okay, so we're in this area. We've got these imbalanced candles. Earlier than you thought. Oh no, that's all right, mate. Let's do 7 o'clock your time. That's fine. Is that Chris? They're muttering in the background. Alright, 3 minute created liquidity candle. Four minute closed with one as well off of these areas. I'm tempted to give this one a go for a sell from here. But I'm going to wait for my original plan, but I am tempted. I'm happy to let, if this one goes, I'll just have to let it, it'll be fine. But I am tempted to give that a shot. Given Monday though, I actually going to, I'm happy to be a bit more cautious. But I could see it going down from there. I would much prefer if it can push up into this area though. That's the plan I'm going to wait for. If I've seen like little rejections from this like pre-London area with all these no wick candles, price dipping up into this wick, I think that would be a, if you're doing like lot sizes rather than risk reward, sorry, if you're doing lot sizes rather than percentage risk, you can get away with a fairly low risk trade. It's not something I'm going to take for the today though. I'll take that if I was doing a bit more profits for the week, but given it's the start of the week, I'm not too keen on it. What's PL, Tom? Touched PL. Oh, pre-London half. Gotcha. Sean, Hidari, just joined. What's the style of trading? Looking for rejections from session highs, lows, or halfway points. Preferably in line with the trend, but it doesn't need to be. I guess that's the best way to round it up. If this candle can close underneath this guy, damn, still, it's just because it's hesitated in this area so long, it's really tempted me to give it a shot. Yeah, I think this can be dangerous in this little zone. Lately the opening's been rubbish. Also starts late in the hour next. Yeah. Don't love sells leaving that 5-minute doji behind. Yeah. Yeah, sure is. Lots of dojis. It's stalling on that Asian low. Yeah, it is. One in, is it Sama? Yeah, I'd really like to wait for it to just, if it can find some momentum, price can push up into this area. What I'd like to see, I don't know like how high it'll go up into this area, but I'd be pretty keen that once we see a candle, like this, I don't mind if this candle is actually bearish like this, or alternately a bullish candle like that. If that's the case, then I think that there's a good chance that we'll get their reaction after this move, whether it does a retest of this wick and then drops, or if it just opens no top wick and then drops. But that's ideally what I'd be waiting for, because this is my preferred reaction zone, and I would have been looking for this to be my reaction zone regardless. The way that this dropped early in the Euros, very early, like just before London, I think this would get people really keen for taking sells and pullback sells, but I feel like this could just be a little bit of a trap. The more it hesitates though in this area, it does build more weight that this could be creating that resistance to push down, but it is very much so a trap. And the last two streams I've done, the first trade of the session wasn't a good one, because then price gave me, like, lured me into it. I gave it a shot, didn't work out. Price came to my preferred level, and then caught it. So I'm going to leave this one alone for now. If we can start to get some trending structure, then I know there will be an I know there will be an opportunity. If it does start, like, say we miss catching the high and it starts breaking these lows, trying to take advantage of the pullbacks. I know we should get, like, let's say we should get 2, perhaps 3 pullbacks with this London volume. Once it's decided on this direction, you should be able to get that, like, steady moves. Is there a competition between the large institutions on direction for price? I'm bigger than you, so the price goes my way. Don't think so, Dan. I think, though, the main thing is, like, I was hoping on the daily chart we need the institutions are the ones that move price, and the institutions need to push price to areas where there's a lot of liquidity so that they can close their positions to maximize without getting slippage. I didn't know how to interpret this gap here, and I thought that that was a good shot, that could be an area where they could do some profit taking, and we could see some pullbacks from this area. But we just saw price, basically no hesitation, new month open, just powered through. But for them to close any profits now, they're either going to have to take time and then start adding more short positions in line with their long positions to start being able to close some of those longs without losing too much ground, or they could push price up into an area of supply where they can then close positions where there's a lot of people willing to take those sells. So this area, I find that they wouldn't really need to hedge their positions too much to be able to close. Otherwise, if this wasn't here, then I would say that they're probably going to have to take time, and as they're buying more, add more short positions to their long positions, so they can slowly close some profits, and that will lead to like price drifting sideways for a bit, because it takes time. Their sizes are just absolutely massive. It takes time to fill that. Yeah, it's a good move not getting involved in here. Let's just check to see if there's any headlines. Now that we've got the open, the media have also opened. Not a whole lot. It dodged a bullet there? What? It didn't close lower. That's the problem. I was getting tempted if it was going to, like, it had entered on this wick area. How much of a reaction did we get? Only 9 pips. But then for those better sells to take in place, you want it to be closing underneath some of these wicks, and price just accumulated. So I wasn't able to, there was no like confirmation to enter. There was just a risky, if this was a liquidity candle, entering on the retest of the wick, that would have only netted you 10 pips. But your stop loss would have been pretty small, so you would have got at least 1-to-1 for like a really hyper scalp kind of trade. Did anyone give that a buy a shot for after this candle? I'm sure there would have been someone. Oh, Tom, rule, yeah, nice one. Taking the euro low. Little rejection wick. I'd look for something like that up in this area. So I feel London is this is liquidity here. That's taken. So we've gathered a little bit of liquidity here. We've gathered a bit more liquidity up over like around this area. This one here is now gathered more liquidity above Euro high. So it's slowly picking up more and more liquidity. The bigger one is the New York high. And then this pocket, this big large pocket from August. So I feel like London's slowly able to gather their orders. So liquidity candle, HCS, 50% of FU, we got on the left. Awesome rule. Oh, you looked at the 1 minute where you? Beautiful. Good job. Oh yeah, that one. That liquidity candle. Looks good. Yeah, it looks really good. Oh no, I don't mind the 1 minutes. Absolutely, I don't mind the 1 minutes. But when I'm streaming, there's so much stuff that I'm trying to keep an eye on, and the pressure of trading live as well. So I prefer not to do the 1 minutes when I know that I'm not totally there. So 4 minutes closing as a liquidity candle. I think what I'll do is if we can get up into this wick area, I wouldn't mind just giving it a 20 pip stop. Maybe a little bit more. And target around here. Knowing that we might sweep this high a little bit, and we've got New York high. But we're willing to give this 2 shots. What time is it? 8:36. The new 30-minute candle's opened. Do I want to give this a shot? I feel like it's not quite enough. I feel like I want it to push up into here first, then give that liquidity candle. I'm going to see if this candle, I want to see what this candle does. I want to see if this candle closes above the body. If it closes above the body, then I feel like this could still be part of that continuation to grab more liquidity, and I'll like to shift this a little bit higher. I want to see how this one's going to close. If this does show as a rejection, and I'm more confident that it's grabbed enough liquidity from here, and now we can start the down move, then I don't mind having missed it. Because what I'll try to do though is knowing that London, once it has picked up its liquidity and chosen a direction, it'll probably have 2 or 3 moves like that, and I'll just have to deal with a later entry. I feel it can still be a little bit dangerous here, given I've got this area and this area. John, gold going back to 2020. What's gold doing? Are we falling? Are we? I remember people grabbed last time, made these all-time highs. Literally got in from the top. I remember I took a sell the last time we're up here around that 2070 mark. Entered the sell, but I was in the city. Walking, my alert went off that we made an all-time high. Instantly just opened up a sell. Then thought, oh, it's kind of dumb trading from the phone with no confirmation just because it hit all-time high. Because I didn't know how high it would go. This was the last time that it hit the all-time high. And I closed it and I realized I'd literally got basically the top. In hindsight, looked great, but at the time you're fearful holding that, especially when it's like, just because it hit an all-time high, I wasn't really sure if it would correct or would go up again. Like this one here, if you just enter the sell because it's the all-time high, your account's basically gone. If you went holding 700 pips drawdown, if you didn't put a stop loss on. And that's what the thing is, when I entered on the phone, I just instantly hit a sell. This is before. Was trying to think, where am I going to put my stop loss? Because it could, I know gold can do 50 pips, 100 pips. So I thought I just might as well just close this. This is just a bit dumb thing to do. But absolutely crazy spike. Yeah, closed above. So we've got continuation. So let's wait for it. Now we're inside my real sell zone. So there's not a limit order, guys. There's not a limit order. But this is basically what I'm thinking. But what I'm waiting for first is price action. I'm waiting for a rejection candle. All right. Prop firms are glitching out. Oh, I saw some stuff going on. There was like, what was the spread? What was the spread? I saw some people saying like the spread was like 100 pips or 70 pips. I was asleep through the whole thing. I didn't see any of it. Oh, Ivan, are you here? Ivan's not here. He can go back on his phone and he can see, it shows on Android MetaTrader, it shows what the spread was at a particular time. Yeah, really handy. Alright, I'm satisfied that we've got enough liquidity from here. Taken New York high. Oh, I'm satisfied now. All I need now is a 3 minute plus candle, 3 or higher, to close as a rejection candle. No, I'll just give it a shot. So this one isn't. This 3 minute candle just closed. See how it wicked up higher, but it closed higher than the previous candle. So to me, there's not a rejection wick just yet. Sometimes I miss it as well. Sometimes it will just drop. But I'm going to stay true to waiting for the rejection candle. So the 4 minutes got a little bit more to close. 1 minute 20. At the moment, this would look suitable.
What if it closes a doji?
Maybe then I'll check the 5 and then give it more time. All right. Giving that a go. Three minute not yet. What's the 3 minute like? Yeah, I went with the 4 minute though. I know the 3 minute didn't. The 4 minute closed though for me. It's giving it a 20 pip stop. It's either going to work or not. And if it doesn't work and it pushes up higher, I'll give it a second shot. $85 from all-time high. Yeah, that was in striking distance, wasn't it? That's crazy. I was actually thought there was a chance that I might get there on Friday if it just popped and like had like a flash crash to the upside. What time frame would it need to close on in the August zone for it to then want to go to the top? I think like 30 minutes. But it doesn't have to go straight up. That's the thing. 30 minutes it closes. Doesn't have to go straight up. Just means that eventually will go straight up. Pullback can happen as soon as it can close inside. It can pull back, but you're pretty much just looking for it to go up to the top of the structure once it closes inside of it. You got an H4 imbalance 16,451. Is that something to take into account? Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, if you see these things as reaction points, then then definitely, yeah. Yeah, this one's not going to work out. I'm going to have to wait for another candle. Definitely no signs of rejection. 5 minute, just keep them powering up. So I'll give this one, just gonna let it hit. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out, but I'm gonna take a second shot as soon as I see another rejection candle like this one. If it works out, then hopefully the second one works out. This first one doesn't look too good. How much am I risking per trade? Depends on how I'm doing for the week. I always start Mondays like pretty small, like about 0.2, 0.3, 0.4. I usually do lot sizes, so I know that if I do one entry, one position, that's about 0.25. And what I'll do is if I want to do more risk, then I'll put like 2 or 3 positions in. I like to do like multiple positions because if I'm not going to be here, I can set different take profit points for those positions. But generally it's early in the week, and before, like early in the week, it's around like 0.25%, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4 ish, depending on like the size of my stop loss. Then with the prop account, how I was running that was when I started it fresh with the challenge, I was just starting it at basically like 0.1 or 0.2 just to get used to the broker, get used to the spread, get used to the slippage. And then once I was positive by 1%, then I was increasing my risk up to around anywhere between 0.5% and 1% per trade. If I take a loss, which I was taking a loss as soon as I up my risk, then I'd go back to like really low risk and sort of build it up. So I was only like doing high risk once I was in profit. But start of the week, I always start a bit slower. Looks like we're back in business. Hopefully this can be the high. So if I had been stopped out, this would be another candle I'd give it a go on.
Gave a rejection on the 3 minute as well, Hayden.
On the 3s. Yeah, I mean, to be honest as well, that does look like a better candle than that first one I took it off, didn't it? If it can close below here, that'd be lovely. That would be really, really nice. If it can just close below this little bit of support. On the 1 minutes, it would look like structure. The kind of the structures doing this. Kind of like, oh, come on, pen. Computer's super slow. But, okay. Consolidation, run up, correction, run up, correction, run up, correction, run up. So what we want to see is these supports start to break and start to create resistances, like lower highs. Once we can do that, we can have like a second structure pullback. Once we can get below second structure, then we'll say we're in a 1 minute time frame downtrend. But any of these areas, like London 50%, could cause problems. But if we can get down to this area, I'd be happy to make sure that this trade is now risk-free.
Yours has got a top week, hadn't it? Mine doesn't. In my 3 minutes.
Mine has a top wick. My 3. Yours doesn't. Oh.
That one. The
This one.
second one, yeah, that one. Yeah, you've got like a little bit, don't you?
It's got a nipple. The candle's a little bit cold. Cool. Hopefully it doesn't reject here. Time do we have? 15's got 5 minutes to close. 30 minutes got a bit more time. Hopefully this little Asian high area doesn't hold. Hey Ivan, oh you're here mate. I was asking about you before. I was wondering if you, don't look at it now if you're busy, but I was wondering if you could use your Android to see what the spread was at gold when it was racing up. I think I saw reports of like 70 pips spread. No, today, this morning. For gold, not German. I'd have to check on the Discord chat, but people were saying it's, no, sorry, it was another group that I saw everyone talking about it. Okay, so now what I need to do here as well is, I know that my entry was on the 4 minute. Thankfully I gave it enough room that it didn't hit my stop loss. But now I need to consider that whilst my target to become risk-free was based on this candle initially, this would have been the prime entry. So I'd like to make sure that from this area, I know that once we have a rejection and it's counter trend, German does like to move in 20 to 30 pip moves. So I need to consider that if it rejected from here, where is 20 to 30 pips? So this pretty much at this point now, 20 pips. If it can keep on breaking down, great. But I do need to be aware that my entry is not in the best spot and this is a potential rejection zone. So whilst I'm about 7 or 8 pips in profit, I need to, my entry's, no, it is 8 pips. It's just the spread. So I'm 10 pips down here, but I pay 3 pips spread on this broker, on this prop account. So if it does come back to the entry, whilst I'm being 10 pips in profit, I don't really want to take a loss if this is, because it does still look very bullish. So this is a counter trend. I don't want to take anything off the table though, because that's watering down the profits too much. But I don't want to take I'm definitely not going to take a full loss on this, if that's the case. If in anything, it's not going to be a full loss. Hopefully we can eke out maybe a 3 to 1. That'd be just amazing. New hour is going to come to a close. 15 minutes is looking tasty. 30 minutes looking like a nice rejection wick. Hopefully it was this the London's buy to sell. Oh, Joey, you got in short on the open of the new 5 minute after it closed below M1 structure. Yep, that's absolutely fine, mate. Absolutely fine. So both of us, what the whole idea is to like create triangles. So you're trying to create, like, think that this is the move, and you don't want to be on this side of the triangle because you don't know how high it's going to be. So that's where I was looking for this rejection candle to try tell me that this was the high. But if you want to wait for the candles to close and then to start breaking, and you've got more confirmation that you trade on this side of the triangle down, then that's absolutely fine. And we don't need to pick the top. We don't even need to pick the bottom. You want to take like the meat of the move. You don't skim the top, skim the bottom. Just take what makes sense. Jim got in a 3 minute candle, just took 30%. Let the rest run. Beautiful, mate. Yeah, I'm sitting around 15 pips in profit now. So nearly 1 to 1. We're getting close to this London 50% though, which could be a bit of a danger zone. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to close 50... Oh shit, what did I push? Push some button on magic keys. Don't know what it was. There we go. There we go. I've closed 50% at this point. We've moved from top to bottom here. This is 27 pips from the close of this first rejection, like this nice lovely looking rejection candle. No matter what now, even if I'll move my stop loss down a little bit, but now it's risk free now. I'm not risking anything. Hopefully it just continues going down, survive any pullbacks, and actually get down to like this previous London high. That's my target, the previous London high, minus a little bit just in case, because I know my entries are never the best. My exits are never the best. But yeah, that's it. Pretty calm trade, I think. It was, apart from this bit, which was really tempting me. Other than that, it was purely just waiting for a rejection to form. Got on the 4 minute candle. It did pop up higher. It did make me nervous. It got pretty close to the stop loss. Which, yeah, I was thinking, shit, it's going to be a loss, and then I was going to have to give it a go again. And then, as we've been seeing, lately the trend has been take a loss, take a win, but the risk reward is far better. Thankfully, the stop loss was enough. Who was in this? Who took the? I know some guys got the buys. That's amazing. Who took these? Who took these sells?
I got the sell off.
You
I
did?
got the sell off for 3 minute.
Off the 3 minute, off this one?
Yep.
Oh, that's way better than mine. Yeah, I think that's pretty transparent with my plan enough. So most people should have been able to get in. It was purely just, didn't have to act quick on it at all. I think it was just if you were confident not in the move or not. Sarah closed long, then ping ponged it. Brett, nope, unfortunately. Oh, thanks, Jim. Great weekend session. Yeah, that's good. That's good. The take homes were like just trying to calculate, you know, has liquidity been taken from a number of sources? Do we have rejection? Sure, go with it. Grinda, you sold it. Awesome. Dan, you missed it. Oh, damn. Dan, you're waiting for the retest. Okay. Yeah, the retest is usually good, but the retest has been a little bit, as we've seen in the last like month. Often you'd be looking for it to push down, and then come up, and then get in there. and then I've been noticing that some of these trades have been, I have been a little bit uncomfortable that they have been a bit more counter trend than anything. And I don't particularly like that, but it's just the way that German's been moving lately. It's just a real shame that it has been like that. That it hasn't been doing that retest.
Yeah, I was just going to say, it hasn't been giving us that anticipation entry.
Yeah, I've just been fine. I'm missing too many trades. Chris, you sold. Awesome. All right, well, I'm going to continue on my channel. Trading Nut guys, appreciate you being there. If you want to come over and continue the stream, Haydos of X on YouTube, find that. But Trading Nut, I'm gonna shut this down. But my YouTube people, if you're watching on Haydos FX on YouTube, stay on. We're not leaving. Alrighty. I'm not sure where it's coming from. I doubt it's coming from... Well, maybe it was from my streams as well. I'm not sure where they come from though, but I got a couple of nice little emails on the weekend telling me that I don't know shit, and that I just sound confused as hell, and that I require all my students to pay for my rent. It's lovely emails.
Charming, isn't it?
Yeah, it is nice.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Hayden, that's awful.
Hey, as long as you keep laughing at it.
Yeah, yeah. I was like, I don't pay rent. How do you even know? How do I pay rent? Don't even pay rent.
Oh my gosh, that's awful.
They took that's the thing. It surprises me that they take the time out of their way to send an email. spend their time backtesting.
Yeah. Elgo.
Yeah, spend the time backtesting yourselves.
But I did quite a lot of back testing after your session over the weekend.
Yeah.
Because in some sessions mean quite a lot to you. Hang on, sorry, I've got my.
Got echo, mate.
Yeah, sorry. Give it 2 seconds. I'll speak in a minute. Sorry about that.
It's all right.
Is that better?
Yeah, it's much better.
Yeah, so after your session, I did quite a lot of back testing. I was looking at the reversal moves in the first hour or two of German.
Yeah.
And I did a lot more on NAS actually, but I did do a bit on German. And I was just surprised at the frequency of some of these moves, certainly on NAS, but also on German as well. The biggest thing I noticed on German though was, recently we were talking about the 2 candles forming an FU.
Yeah.
At the reversal zone, so just below session highs, just below session lows, or just above session highs, where it's doing a reversal, those 2 candle reversal patterns happen quite a lot. So it happened twice today on the 5 minute.
Down
So
here.
the 8 o'clock and 8:05 combined was a kind of an FU.
Yeah.
And the 8:20 and 25 or whatever it was, and then same on Friday, same on Thursday. So, and I'll kind of agree. I'm going to do loads and loads of back testing during December, on loads of different things, including kind of the session high and low takeouts, these 2 candle FUs, the stuff that actually has been going through, the stuff you've been going through.
Yeah.
But it just gives you so much more confidence. I had much more confidence this morning after your session and about 3 hours worth of back testing.
Yeah.
Just makes a big difference in your
Confidence is a huge difference. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'd not been doing a lot of back testing, other than on my indicator, which doesn't really give me confidence in trading. It just gives me confidence my code's working.
Mm-hmm. But it's still training your eye. You need that chart time.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. Brilliant. Good job, man. Thanks for it's really encouraging as well to see that other people can actually take note of what I'm trying to say, because I know I ramble a bit. So
Yeah, no.
as long as it makes sense to some, and you got enough to go and back test it, everyone's going to see things a little bit different as well. But you can't, no matter who it is, you can't say that you don't see reactions from session highs, lows. Like, that is just a godsend. That if anyone is looking at a chart without sessions, you're lost. You are absolutely lost for timing. Timing's going to be hopeless if you can't have sessions. Yeah. We need to talk about December as well. So, what I'm thinking, I spoke with Sarah, because I'm going to keep the streams going, but we need to work out what we're going to do between Christmas and New Year, and like the first few days of New Year. So I'm happy to do more back testing and doing sessions. I'm happy to do the sessions and trading sessions. I'm going to be in Portugal for 3 weeks. So I'm going to take my laptop. So I'll continue, but I was wondering, just to make up, there might be some days where I'm not going to do anything. I was thinking, like, in the lead up for the next couple of weeks, I'll do London and New York. I'll try and get a few New Yorks in to say that we've had at least a session every day. I might just like front load the session so that during Christmas time, you know, spend time with the family. But I'll be here if you guys need.
That sounds good. Yeah, that'd be great.
All right, so 35 pips. 35 in profit, 40 pips before this little pullback. I think that's an excellent day. I think we did well, guys. Gonna close more here. I'm just gonna let the rest run.
I got a late entry in the end on that drop.
Tom, you did? Beautiful.
Yep.
Good job.
20 pips. 20 pips. Yep. Happy with that.
20, excellent. Yeah, beautiful. Yeah, Jim, I want to explore this. I was trying to play around with your scale in as well. I like it. I like how it in the early parts of German. I really like how like these little pullbacks. I've kind of the thing I found personally struggling to scale in is exactly just timing it when and where. So I quite like having that little arrow, just seeing something. Sometimes seeing something visually. Let me just explain. Seeing something visually like this, where you start to see, like, I know we don't use EMAs here, but seeing like anything that can actually reliably get 4 or 5 or 6, whatever it is, if these are fractals or anything that can give like 4 or 5 reliably in a specific row, in a row in a specific time, is something you should look at more. It passes the eye test. That's what I'm trying to say. It passes the eye test immediately. So this is something now worth exploring, because opportunity, the best traders, the ones that make the most, don't have the highest win rate. They maximize the winning positions. That's what they do. They don't. It's not about win rate. But you can see, like, this little sell to buy, and we anticipated, I believe, on the Thursday we got these buys from underneath here. That was on the stream. I took a loss first, and then I got this buy, and then afterwards, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 arrows in a row.
The best one though is the first one after the pullback. So if you look to your left at about 8:30, you've got a pullback.
Yeah.
Keep going down, going right. So the first one after that pullback, you've got a red arrow down.
This one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The first one I've done.
You took the sell there.
Back testing on that. No, I didn't take it, but I've done a lot of back testing on that signal, those scaling signals. So the first one is usually the best one. So if you go forward to about 9:45, after the pullback on the way up, the first one there is the green arrow.
Yeah.
And again, that's the first one, which is the best one. You wouldn't take the ones that are a little bit further up until there's another pullback.
Yeah. I was going to ask you, are you entering, because after you get these arrows, you wait for the pullback. You don't enter on that.
So this one is the first one after the pullback here.
Yeah.
This one is the first one after the pullback here. I wouldn't take those. That'd be a no for me.
Yeah.
This one here is a good one because it's the first one after a pullback.
Yeah.
This one's good because it's the first one after a pullback.
Because as
long as it's the first one that's pretty close to the bottom of the pullback.
Yeah.
You see and I don't know how to code that.
Yeah. Okay. The way I was interpreting this is like, this is a good sign, but I'd wait for the pullback because the side of the candle.
And then take the first one. Yeah.
I'd want to trade from the base of that candle.
But also on the testing, if this candle, which is showing a scale in, follows a doji, put your stop loss below the doji, not the candle.
Yeah, okay.
Otherwise, I just put it below the candle, which is fine. A couple of pips.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, everyone should test it. I've only tested it in the first 2 hours of German. I don't test it any other time because I don't.
Yeah, you got to time it. You got to make sure you get the right timing. Otherwise, you get really confused and you lose confidence when you try test something in a time that's not suited for, and then you'll be thinking, oh, well, maybe it's more of a 50-50 because I'm testing it also in like Asian session or some other time that's not good. But you want to find a particular time and then see like what is the current trend. And we know that what happens often as well in German, we know there's been a bit of a slug to start with, and we're getting late moves. So why not? You know, the moves early or late can be of much more higher quality than trading this noise.
Yeah. I put the code behind this, obviously, but I'm not sure at the time I did it, I was really paying a huge amount of attention to exactly what I was doing on the code, apart from it being with the EMAs, etc.
Yeah.
But whatever it is, it seems to work. I'm more than happy to share exactly what that is, by the way, with your coder.
Sure. Yeah. Let's I think let's explore that during the Christmas quiet time.
Yeah, definitely.
We can do like a I'd really like to add scale and opportunities. Don, what is those signals? Oh, they're just talking about like once you get like little pullbacks and then you get candles that close higher. It's like the opposite of a rejection wick. It will give in direction of EMAs. That's what they were suggesting. But on these lower time frames, once the move goes, EMAs can become that self-fulfilling prophecy. I don't really use them when I'm looking for my entries, but for scale and opportunities, they are really good because they are momentum indicators. Am I still in German 30? Yeah, I am spooky. I've everything's at break even now. I've closed majority here. I'm just leaving the rest to run. So that was sitting at 43 pips in profit. So it was a nice, because it had to be patient. See, it's just being patient, waiting for a level to be hit. And I was saying it would have been crap taking a loss, but I would have given it a second chance. Thankfully, I didn't have to give it a second chance. So yeah, happy days. What's Naz doing? Let's have a look at Naz. Naz, I can't wait for New York session. I'm bearish on Naz this week. I think we're starting to show some signs of it rolling over. I wouldn't be surprised though we'd get like one real big push, but ultimately I would be more comfortable with some sells. I think that for me, bigger picture, what I was looking for was December. At the end of November and December to have like a bottom wick for the monthly before then we push up. But we've been pretty bullish. Now as soon as we accumulate like this, I feel like from a hedge fund point of view, this is when they're adding long. Sorry. Oh shoot, sorry guys. From a hedge fund point of view, I think a correction is still needed. I don't think it was going to have much of a correction, but looking at all like traditional technical indicators, stochastic would be stochastic would be overbought, RSI would be overbought, all the EMAs after this run up, your higher time frame EMAs would be like we're pretty far away from those EMAs. Most people, there will be a lot of sellers ready to think that, you know, it makes sense for a reversion to the mean before we're going up. The other type of pullback that we may have because we are so bullish in the market is just for price to go sideways for like a week or two and then let those indicators start to catch up. Before then we might have I still think we're going to have a year-end rally, but I think that we're going to either have just a quiet 2 weeks or week and a half where we just go sideways, or we start to pull back into some of these other price points before then we are going to go and continue long. So my bias, I think, is going to be, I think it's going to be easier for sells. This week, I think NFP is going to, if NFP is anything but soft, I think we're going to have a pullback. If it comes out really soft, then I think maybe we might kick off that rally early. So we'll just have to wait for Friday to really dictate. But I'm going to be probably leaning into sells a little bit more than I'm going to be leaning into buys. Of course, if I'm looking to scalp, it doesn't matter. I'm going to be looking to a scalp underneath a session low, especially if it's a London or a New York session. Now, what else was I going to say with Naz? Yeah, that's pretty much it. Pretty much it. I think that we're still. I think it's just, it makes sense. Oh, that's what I was going to say. Hedge funds or institutions, they would be adding buys and slowly adding shorts, adding buys, decreasing shorts, adding buys, adding shorts, adding buys, adding shorts, adding buys, adding shorts. And at this stage, they're adding buys, but they're more increasingly adding short positions here. Now, when they start reducing the buys and adding shorts, that's where I think we start to have that correction. Then we might find a little bit of consolidation when they start adding long positions again, start closing some of those shorts, start closing shorts, still adding longs, and then we start seeing that rally again. So the whole reason I said that was that they're still adding buys and shorts at the same time. It's just, I think at this stage, those shorts might start outweighing those buys. And then we'll start to see a little bit of a correction or a price just go sideways for a bit. Let time for just sellers to sort of give up, and then buyers, like season end, I think we'll probably hit all-time highs. And then I think next year, Q1, I do reckon we'll get probably a bit of a bigger correction. I'd like to see what happens when the stimulus runs out from the repo market, when that runs out, and the treasury account. When that stimulus runs out, maybe them indicating rate cuts is going to be a sign that the economy is struggling. And if there's a little bit of fear with recession and that stock's been so overbought, it's usually when the rates start cutting that you see that correction, 10% correction, 20% correction. So I'm bullish until then, but I'll be leaning into sells a little bit more here, given what I'm seeing, and then I'll lean into the longs again. But if I'm scalping as well on a day-to-day basis, then I don't care if I'm long or short. I really don't care. I'm just mainly looking, just like what we did today. Has liquidity been picked up? Is there a rejection candle? Go with it. Have confidence in it. Have confidence in it. You're only risking what you've accepted. So yeah, give it a like on the stream, guys, if you're happy with today.
Yeah. Did that first up, Hayden.
Thanks, man. Appreciate that.
Hayden, I've just sent you a DM on on Discord with just one sentence that gives you the exact code for that.
Awesome. Appreciate that.
I know that it was a bit vague when I had a chat with your developer. I don't think I gave you exactly what it was, but that's exactly what it is now.
Yeah, awesome.
Right.
I thought about going and trying to read through it, but I was like, it's above my pay grade.
I'll put it in layman's terms. I'll put it in layman's terms.
Thank you.
Change yourself there, Haydo.
With coding? Oh, I just got lucky, mate. I just got lucky here. Took it through a dart.
Let the uneducated remain in the dark, Hayden.
Yeah, just got lucky. Do you see that? Have you seen that? This is me. This is...
Same colour hair and everything, mate.
Yeah, the glasses on today.
No beanie.
Oh yeah, it needs a beanie on it. Yeah, there we go. This one's me. just talking shit. No idea what I'm doing.
Guessing.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Rang your door.
Well, I'll stay on here for a bit longer. I am gonna go and get a coffee though. I need one. So I'll be back in a few minutes, alright?
That's good, mate.
Oh,
You still
Man, we had-
looking at the AD?
What was that?
what's that, buddy?
No,
Oh,
no, I held it though.
nice one.
Did like 60 plus pips. Yeah,
Nicely done.
yeah, it was good. Thank you.
Nice.
Yeah, I had a grouse day today, so
Good work.
just leave it, to be honest.
That was an absolute cracker of an Asian session.
Yeah, news.
I never trade Asian
Gotta love a
sessions.
bit of news.
Just had a nice pullback on gold too. I've got a heap of trades on that.
Yeah,
140 pips in London session.
yeah, nice.
Nothing quite to the 900 pips in the Asian session. 920 pip daily candle.
What? That's crazy.
Alright, we're back. Oh, I said how the gold and a long on gold from Friday. Holy. That would be massive. Samir got 45 pips, beautiful. What are we seeing on German? Here's a little liquidity candle. Don't need to trade anymore. What can we trade? Can we try squeeze in some pips to the retest? I'm going to hold my sell all the way. I'm not going to close that. But I was wondering if I can take... London's moved 75 pips from low to high. So there's enough, there's volume, that's good volume from 75 pips for that hour candle. 30 minutes going to come to a close. Nice bearish candle. Now can this 30-minute wick up retest this highs before then pushing down? And could we take that wick up with this new 30-minute candle? Or is the new 30-minute, if it breaks the low and gives me a liquidity candle, I will look to take it back up. That's what I'll do. If this new 30 minutes, if we straight away do a wick fill and fill this 30-minute candle wick, and we start seeing rejection on the lower time frame underneath this wick, let me make it the 30-minute a little bit bigger. So 30 minutes got momentum. 30-minute could do a wick fill. I'd like it to do a wick fill without creating the top wick. And what that will do is start pushing into this opening 30-minute liquidity candle, because this is still liquidity wick. And if it does that without creating the top wick, most candles should have a top wick. So if we can wick down, sorry, if we can fill this candle's wick, do the wick fill, and on the lower time frames show a rejection wick just like we saw up the top, then I'll look to take this for like 20 pips scalp, just counter trend my trade. Then what I'll do is, if we can get that 20 pips, I'll secure, move to break even, leave my target, potentially my target at the monthly level. I'll probably close 75% of that, and I'll just leave both the trades running risk-free to see which one actually can go. That makes sense?
So on the 3-minute, would you not want it to close below the HCS that it's generated there?
Yeah, I do.
You want it to, so not closing below that.
Or I wanted to test this wick, because this is the liquidity wick on the 1 hour.
Yeah.
So it'll have to. Oh, sorry. It doesn't have to close below. It could do something like that.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Got it.
But my idea was thinking that there's liquidity left behind with this no wick. So that, but this is support, little HCS support. I mean, ideally, if it just keeps on going down, I'm kind of happy. But if it does a wick fill first, without creating that sort of higher low, without that lower high wick on the 30-minute, usually you see these like fake out and then come down. And then the momentum just continues to the downside. But if the 30-minute candle opens and then pushes straight down, we can get rejections from here, enough to do like a real hyper scalp trade. But I'm not going to give back anywhere near the amount of profits. So while I've made a good amount for risk reward for this one, I know I did scale out on this one, and it's low risk because it's Monday. Doesn't matter how much it is, I've made X amount of dollars. Now for this idea, I'm not going to risk this much. I don't want it to be a break-even day. I want to make sure I end this day good. And I want to make sure, because I'm going to be a bit more active in New York today, that I want to make sure I've got bullets left to waste in New York. I say waste, I'm not going to waste them on any willy-nilly trade. I'm going to potentially expend them, knowing that each trade I enter into may be a loss. So worst case scenario for the end of this day, I want to finish ahead, and I've made enough in this one that no matter what happens today, as long as I preserve and maintain risk management, I'm a profitable trader today. That makes sense, guys?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, 100%.
Awesome. If this turns around and starts wicking up higher, then I'm going to have to say I missed the move, and I probably should have had a bit more confidence that this was the support.
GE40 is looking far more reversal type than.
Oh yeah, he's already made a new low. He's given a rejection candle, one rejection candle there, retest. Oh, that's pretty nice actually. I know it's very easy to say things in hindsight, but these kind of patterns, we know we've picked up liquidity underneath euro low with these candles pushing down. We know we've got structure here to the left, and we see price action. Like just following these kind of reversal candles, you know, your risk doesn't need to be high to take them, but the danger is like on the lower time frames you need to think quick. And I'm really hesitant for people that aren't good with risk management to just trade anything, because you can only trade these kind of corrections or these kind of reversal candles. Yeah, maybe only targeting a 50% pullback. It's pretty important that you guys plan your trades. Joey, I've done half my target in the last 30 minutes. Nice one. Need to go on your New York session streams. You mean London session, you mean? I don't really like the New York sessions will become more active once Maddie gets into a much better routine. I'd like to do like to do two. Yes, Amir. What's up?
Yeah, I have 10% runner.
Mm-hmm.
How to manage that runner? I mean to say, where should I set my TP or and
For this one?
stop loss?
Yes. So you can do two options for stop loss. One could just be at your entry, and two could be just trailing it. So like if we can actually confirm that we've got a lower high and start breaking and making underneath, then you can bring it down, and then just you can either have like, I would always set a maximum take profit, so one that you're really happy with, and that would probably be, well, I've chosen this take profit because that was my previous London high, and I think we can bounce from it. Otherwise, like this wick, because if I'm with the trend, with the higher time frame trend, you can have your take profits far lower. But because we are definitely counter trend, everything is very bullish. I would dare say that it only takes a sniff for the bulls to take back and sort of push price back up again. So I like this take profit. Or if I don't have this one, I'd be picking this green box because that stands out to me. So with that 10%, you can either leave your stop loss at your entry, and this is your TP, or this is your TP, and you simply just don't ever look at that again. Just let it do its thing. Or if you want to try maximize that 10% running position, once we've got a confirmed lower high, keep your TP the same, but just bring your stop loss above the lower highs that form, knowing that we could get a second structure pullback at some stage. But yeah, your runner's simply there just to try not to think about it again. Just let it do its thing, and the market's going to take time, give you anxiety if you watch it. So it's better off just to know that the runner's just there to, if it can get to your ultimate target, let it do its thing. How it gets there, don't worry about it. But don't well, even if you left your stop loss in risk of like above this high or where it originally was, it'll still be a winning trade because that running 10% won't it'll just take some off the profit. But I prefer, once you've got a runner, leave it at break even.
Yeah, yeah. I moved stop loss at break even.
Yeah.
After 10-20 pips.
Okay.
Yeah, and now just don't know about the run-off. That's why.
Yeah. Just leave it like I reckon here's great. I reckon here's great,
Yeah.
or down here. I think that's great as well.
Yeah.
Cool. So we are coming down. It is closed below that HCS, that 3-minute support. It's taken the low. The 30 minutes now done the wick fill. It's done the wick fill now, and now we're pushing into this 30-minute candles base. So let's see if we do. That's not quite there yet. Need to drop another 2 pips, and then if it can drop another 2 pips, I'm going to say anywhere in here. When I say like, it doesn't mean you just buy, but it means that we know this style of trading is liquidity to liquidity, and this was enough liquidity as it was picking up, and we saw how long it took for it finally to pull back. So it doesn't mean it's going to instantly just do something like that. We know that it's going to start gathering liquidity from this area. If it drops down and breaks this low, it's going to be taking more liquidity. If it continues to drop further and we start seeing the rejection wick, then it's likely that price is still going to have that pullback. It's just we want to make sure we take a quality one. Oh, you're finally able to see, Ivan. Did you spend the whole time just trying to gold in the opening on 30 pips? Other than that, normal spread was 3 to 6. Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess it was the comments I saw were on, I think, people trading prop accounts, and I imagine the prop account's going to be very, very different than live accounts. Spooky won a free 50k challenge. Beautiful. You took the German 30 for 1 to 4, risking 0.5%. Awesome, man. You normally trade German, or is it just this idea you took? Left a no wick candle, so I could still come back to this. Oh, no first trade, saw your stream and trading. Oh, awesome, man. I'm glad you got a winning trade from here, from the stream. Pleased to hear that. Is it going to drop lower, or is it going to stay here? Continues hesitating here. It's going to outlast me. I'm going to have to go and sort out the baby soon. If I've got any chance to do New York streams, I can't spend too much time with Sarah with the baby alone. The way the 5 minutes looking, it's kind of looking gnarly, isn't it?
I think the entry might have been on 4 minute.
4 minute. Oh, this rejection wick. Yeah.
Tested that 4 minute candle to the left as well, right?
Oh, I didn't even see that.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Yeah, that liquidity candle.
Yeah, I've just seen it.
So that was, how many pips is that? up to the little mini resistance that's formed, just 10 pips. See if I can create a bit more of a top wick. Anyway, I'm not gonna have time to actually enter a trade and then watch it now. Yeah, Tom, I'm gonna go as well. Cool. All right, guys. Well, successful stream today. So appreciate you guys. My guys, just we'll have a little chat. I'll just close the YouTube down. So YouTube guys, trade safe. Hang on to that profit. It's one thing to make it, another thing to hang on to it. And if you're gonna watch, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Okay, take care. Yeah, Joey, I'll see you later on.